What's up, YouTube? This your boy Bigbiyfactsjonnytv, and tonight I'm gonna give you guys my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys watch this full video before you like, comment, share, and then connect with me the right way. Also, go follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. And let's talk about AEW Dynamite tonight. Alright, so it was a good show. I enjoy AEW. But anyway, this week's holiday themed edition of AEW Dynamite on TNT kicks off with the usual cold open video, and then we shoot inside historic Green Coliseum to formally get the second annual Holiday Bash special event underway. From there, the commentary team welcomes us to the program, and then they send things down to the Dapper Yapper. Justin Roberts as we get ready for our opening contest of the week. So we get Adam Cole versus Orange Cassidy. Alright. With that said, we hear the familiar sound of the interesting music of Adam Cole. The elite member makes his way down to the ring as the fans sing along with his theme, Partiality the Boom. Adam Cole, baby, porting when he hit the ring apron and steps through the ropes. As he settles inside the ring, his music dies down, and then the equality familiar sound of the theme music of Orange Cassidy hits. Out comes fresh squeeze Orange Cassidy as the commentators his win/loss record in AEW, which flashes across the screen as he heads down to the square circle. Things are slow to get started as Cassie plays up to his too cool for school casual style, taking his time as he removes his sunglasses and the other ring entrance gear. We finally see Cassie and Cole go face to face in the middle of the ring. Cole taunts Cassie by doing his boom. Adam Cole, baby, routine once again, with the fans already doing it along with him. Now we see Cassie grabs Adam Cole's hand, and then the action gets going as these two exchange headlocks and takedowns. Each make it back to their feet and reverse things so that they are controlling the action. The fans seem split, with them giving a huge babyface reaction to both guys. Both guys start spar. Adam Cole swings and misses after smidgely established control of Cassie. Cassidy capitalized by taking Adam Cole down, but once more we see Adam Cole reverse him and take top position on the mat. Cassidy escapes and makes it back to his feet. He and Adam Cole close in on each other, and it is Adam Cole looking to isolate and control of arm of Cassidy. Cassidy reverses and controls the limb of Cole until Adam Cole sweeps him and takes him down to the mat for a quick roll-up attempt. We see Cassidy kick out at 2, and then Adam Cole slaps a weird chin lock on him. The fans clap and rally behind the freshly squeezed which works as Cassie gets back to his feet and escapes. He snatches up a side headlock on Adam Cole again and takes him down for a deep roll up attempt, but only gets 2. He goes for another pin attempt, but again Adam Cole kicks out. He throws Cassidy into the corner of the ring face first, and then follows behind him, catching him coming off the turnbuckles with a backstabber. He hits a bicep pose as he is feeling confident now at how the match is going. He wheels Cassidy into the corner again. He blasts Cassidy with a big right hand after setting him on the top rope with Cassidy dazed. Adam Cole climbs up after him. It looks like Adam Cole is attempting to secure a superplex. Cassidy eventually fights it off and and pushes Adam Cole down to the mat before executing a diving crossbody splash that connects. He then hits the ropes and does a hurricanrana twist around into a DDT that plants Adam Cole's face first in the mat. He goes for the pin. He goes for the follow up pin attempt. However, Cassie kicks out before the count of three. As Cassie heads to the top rope, we see Brandon Cutler and the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, making their way out. The trio head down to the ring, and when they arrive at the ringside area, we see Cassie leap off the top rope onto the floor, splashing onto Cutler and taking him out. From there, we see the best friends hit the scene to even up the numbers game outside the ring. The best friends and the Young Bucks brawl away from the ringside area, but the distraction alone helps Adam Cole regain the offensive lead as he blasts Cassidy and begin working him over at ringside. He ends up getting whipped into the steel steps on a reversal from Cassidy, which leaves him clutching his knee and rolling around on the mat at ringside in pain. On that note, we see Cassidy following up and adding more punishment to Cole as Excalibur talks us into a mid-match picture-in-picture commercial break as the match continues at ringside. When we return from the break, we see the both guys on their knees in the ring, trading shots. However, Cassie is barely touching Adam Cole to the point that Adam Cole looks at his chest in disbelief after Cassie connects. This continues until we see Cassidy start to put some sting on his shots as they begin having the desired effect. This doesn't last long. However, as Adam Cole ends up pulling into the offensive lead, taking control of the action, he works over the freshly squeezed one in the middle of the ring, blasting him with a big pump kick. He goes to follow up. However, Cassie catches him with a reversal and connects with the stun dog millionaire. He heads to the top rope and leaps off, catching Adam Cole on the way down with a beautiful diving DDT for an ultra close pinfall attempt. Then the commentators begin running down some of the action still to come as both guys are slow to get back to their feet. Adam Cole holds Cassidy up and hits him with a big move that leaves him laid out and lifeless on the mat. The fans chant Adam Cole as they head to the top rope, with the commentators speculating that he is looking for the Panama Sunrise finisher. Cassidy, sensing this, back away out of range, forcing Adam Cole to hop down off the top and head after him. Cassidy blasts him with a shot as he was coming in, which leads to another offensive shift in the match. Cassidy lays out Cole and then heads to the ring apron. He puts back on his sunglasses and then climbs to the top rope. He puts his hands high in the air. Once settled in on the top rope, he then goes to do his dramatic hands in his pocket routine. When his hands enter his pockets, he leaps off the top. Freshly squeezed comes down right into a super kick from Adam Cole. Moments later, Adam Cole hits his Panama Sunrise finisher off the ropes. However, Cassidy managed to kick out of the follow-up pin attempt. From there, Adam Cole takes his knee pad down and looks for the boom, baby. blast to the back of Cassidy's head. Cassidy avoids it, and ends up laying Cole out with a beach break before he can follow up with an orange punch or anything else. We see Bobby Fish run down to the ring and distracts Cassidy. While this is going on, while this is going on, the other side of the ring, we see Kyle Riley arrive through the crowd. He blasts Cassidy with a shot, which leads to Adam Cole following up and finish him off for the pinfall victory. The winner of the match, Adam Cole. But holy smokes, Kyle Riley has officially signed with AEW. Holy smokes. But after the match, Kyle Riley helps Adam Cole and Bobby Fish take out best friends. Alright. Once the match wraps up, we see Adam Cole approach Kyle Riley as that is going on. The best friends arrives on the scene and look to even things up for Cassie. Instead, they get gobbed up by Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle Riley. The former trio, known as the Undisputed Era, pose together in the ring. While this is going on, we see the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson, re-emerge from the back looking confused and / disappointed. They head to the ring and approach Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle Riley. Adam Cole ends up in between the duo of Nick and Matt Jackson and one side of him, and Bobby Fish and Kyle Riley on the other. The commentators do a good job of explaining this on the broadcast. Adam Cole ends up exiting the ring with Kyle Riley and Bobby Fish as his music plays. The Young Bucks continue to look upset. They head to the back as we head to another commercial break. Bro, take my money to see the Undisputed Era versus the Elite. The match itself and the storyline, the storytelling would have been great. Sign me up to see the Undisputed Era versus the Elite. Take my money for it. I'm all for it. I can get right behind that. But anyway, we get Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson comment on announced rematch for January 5th. We will return from the break. Official match graphics flashes across the screen announcing Hangman Page versus Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Championship on the first episode of AEW Dynamite on TBS in January 5th, 2022 from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. From there, we head back inside the Green Coliseum where we see Tony Schiavone standing in the ring. He introduced his guest at this time. No other than AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page makes his way to the ring to chant of Cowboy You Know What from the fans and the audience in the attendance. Tony Schiavone brings up the 60-minute time limit draw. Adam Page had with Bryan Danielson on last week's Winter Is Coming show. Page talks about how he doesn't feel like a winner or a champion right now. He goes on to ensure that he will win. He and Bryan Danielson meet inside the ring again in 2 weeks for their rematch. Alright, on that note, the American Dragon makes his way out and stops on the ramp with a microphone in hand. He talks about Adam Page being scared and says if he hadn't hurt his leg 1 week earlier in a match, he would have easily beaten Page. He doesn't want things to end in a draw, with Page just making the clock and trying to keep his title, which he claimed Page did the first time around as well. With that said, he suggests they have judges in case the match goes to time limit distance once again. If it does, the judges will determine a winner. Page ends up agreeing to this. So we get MJF and the Pinnacle backstage segment. After this, we shoot backstage where MJF is with the Pinnacle. He talks down to Wallow for not doing what he was told on last week's show and then begins delivering a message to CM Punk. He mentioned that when Punk does get his way, That's when the real CM Punk comes out. He goes on to hype their AEW trios match on tonight's show before FTR closed out the segment with some additional comments. After this, we had to another commercial break. We, with the commentators plugging that Wallow will be in action when the show returns. So we get Wallow versus Sean Dean. We return from the break. We hear the familiar sound of Wallow's theme song. He makes his way out, accompanied by Shawn Spears. The Pinnacle duo settles into the square circle, where Wallow's opponent is already waiting for him. It will be Wallow going 1-on-1 against the captain, Sean Dean. The bell sounds and we're off and running with our second match of the evening. Immediately, we see Wallow grab hold of Dean and execute a powerbomb. He decides to hit another. He does this a total 4 times in a row. He then puts his boot on his chest and scores the easy squash match pinfall victory. After the match, Reilly is joined by Shawn Spears in the ring, who pushes past him to beat on Sean Dean some more. He then forcefully grabbed Wallow's hand and raised it in victory. The winner of the match, Wallow. This match was quick. So we get Dan Lambert in the Man of the Year criticized 12/25 TNT title match. We see a big Natty hyping Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes for the TNT Championship. And then where we turn, we hear the commentators get interrupted by a familiar voice. On that note, the camera pans over and shows Dan Lambert of American Top Team accompanied by the Man of the Year, Scorpio Sky, and all ego Ethan Page. He goes on to talk about how AEW fans have nothing to worry about other than whether or not they should download the latest update on their phone or turning the lights out to go to sleep in their mom's basement. From there, he gets to his point, which that is despite Sky and Ethan Page being more deserving, they are going to be sitting on the sidelines and watch Cody Rhodes get a TNT title shot against Sammy Guevara on Christmas night. He says he doesn't care who wins. All he cares about is getting one of the Man of the Year, a shot at whoever emerged with the title after the 12/25 match. So we get a Christmas party featuring Dr. Britt Baker and Tony Schiavone. We shoot backstage to a heavily decorated holiday themed area where Tony Schiavone is standing by with AEW Women's Champion Dr. Britt Baker as well as Reba and Jamie Hayter. Baker goes on to complain and grab about another women's contenders such as Ruby Soho getting an undeserving title shot against her. She says she knows Ruby Soho wants for Christmas is a AEW Women's title match. She says that Riho. Let me go back one more time. Baker goes to complain and grabs about another women's contenders such as Riho. Got it this time, Riho. Getting an undeserving title shot against her. She says she knows as Riho wants for Christmas the AEW Women's title match. She says that Riho is out of her league, and she says they shoot her eye out. She does the DMD hand gesture with Tony Schiavone, Reba, and Jamie Hayter doing along with her to end the segment. We then head back to another commercial break. Owen Hart Cup, Big Natty. We return from the break to the Natty for the Owen Hart Cup tournament, which kick off with the men's and women's tournament in 2022. Um, the video features a look at Owen Hart through the years, including his wrestling in Japan, some home movies, and others never before seen footage. While this is being shown, we see talking head spots with various AEW wrestlers giving their thoughts on the legacy of Owen Hart, as well as some of their earliest memories of seeing him perform. Seeing him perform. The video package wraps up with the Owen Hart Cup tournament being hyped for next year, with the final of the men and women's tournament scheduled to take place at AEW Double or Nothing 2022 pay per view. So we get the TBS Women's Championship tournament semifinals. Nyla Rose versus Ruby Soho. Alright. This was a what I'm saying. Um this was not bad. Not a bad of a match. Not a bad of a match. Decent match. We hear it says now the familiar sound of Ruby Soho plays as the woman's contender of the same name make her way out and head to the ring. The commentators talk about Ruby Soho having the toughest path to the semifinals thus far in the ongoing TBS Women's Title Tournament. Alright, the bell sounds roar off and running with this semi-final bout in the TBS Women's Championship Tournament as Nyla Rose bomb rush and attacked Ruby Soho straight out of the gate. This match is getting off with a bang as Nyla Rose continues beating Ruby Soho down. The action hits the floor where Rose smashes Ruby Soho onto the steel steps. Ruby Soho is laid out and yelling in pain on the floor at ringside. Nyla Rose stalks over her, landing additional punishment. On this note, the commentators team take us to a mid-match picture-in-picture commercial break as the action continues. When we return from the break, we see where we saw is getting worked over by Nyla Rose. She ended up shifting the offense momentum in her favor, but this doesn't last long. The commentators mentioned that she may have missed her one opportunity to pull off the win, and this one. Nyla Rose ends up taking back over. The offense continues from there. Nyla Rose hosts Ruby Soho up and lays her across the top rope. She remains lay out hangover over the top rope as Nyla Rose up the top up to the top rope in the corner. She leaps off and blasts Ruby Soho with a big knee on the way down. We see some replays of this hot spot. Ruby Soho ends up surviving and taking over, nearly finishing Nyla Rose off, only for Biggie Guerrero to hit the ring and provide a distraction. This not only helps Nyla Rose survive when she may have been finished right there, but she also over take back over control of the offense. She hits her big power bomb finisher and goes for the cover. However, Ruby Soho finds it in her somehow to kick out and keeps this match going. The commentators talk about the damage Ruby Soho's arm has taken, yet she managed to get Rose in the corner. I'm not in the corner to get now Rose in the top rope and connects with a big spot for the pin for victory. With the win, Ruby Soho becomes the first women's contender to emerge to the finals of the TBS Women's Championship Tournament. She will meet the winner of the other semifinals bout, which featured Jay Cargill going one-on-one against Thunder Rosa. The commentators showed the updated tournament brackets for sending us back to another commercial break. Alright, so we get The winner and advancing to the finals of the TBS Championship Tournament, Ruby Soho. So we get Malachi Black versus Griff Garrison. Alright. The House of Black is represented as Malachi Black his way down to the ring for his advertising one-on-one showdown against one half of the Varsity Blondes tag team, Griff Garrison. We see highlights of how this match was set up as the backstage segment where Malachi Black sprays his black mist in the eyes of the Varsity Blondes. Owen Julia Hart airs, followed up by Garrison work up promo, distracted towards Malachi Black. From there, the Varsity Blondes theme hits and out comes Griff Garrison, accompanied by Brian Pillman Jr. and the two head down to the ramp, and Great Garrison enters the ring, and he and Black go at it as the bell sound to get the match off and running. This one doesn't end up lasting too long as Garrison gets in a very little offense. Sorry, as totality, nothing outside of the cup of strikes and moves. Malachi Black ends up getting Garrison down and focus his offensive attack on the leg of Garrison. He softens the lip up for the leg submission finisher that Malachi Black applies to get the win. After the match, Black refused to let go of the hold. He keeps cracking back on it until Brian Pillman Jr. hits the ring and tears him off of the Varsity Blondes partner. This doesn't bode well for Pillman Jr. as he end up turning around in a roundhouse kick from Malachi Black that nearly takes his head off. Malachi Black stalks and stares at Pillman Jr. as the commentators talk us into another commercial break. The winner of the match, Malachi Black. Matt Hardy, Private Party, and Christian Cage directions this Red's height Rampage match. So we get when we return from the break, we hear the commentators plug the upcoming AEW Trios main event. They then began running down the lineup for this week's edition of AEW Rampage Holiday Bash, which take place on Saturday night, Christmas Day. We are informed that Jungle Boy versus Isaiah Cassidy of Private Party has been added to the lineup. This leads us to a quick backstage segment from Matt Hardy and Private Party. They vow to pound Jungle Boy on Rampage Holiday Bash. From there, we shoot to another part of the backstage area where we see Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. Jungle Boy makes it clear that nobody is pounding him on Rampage. This is the actual verbiage that was used. Instead, he vows to cram a lump of Coda Cassidy's, and Christian Cage then plugs the limited edition Christian Cage and Jurassic Express t-shirt. After the match, I'm sorry. After the backstage segment featuring Matt Hardy and Private Party, as well as Christian Cage and Jurassic Express, we shoot back to the commentators. They finish running down the lineup on Friday's show, and then plug some matches for next week's show. They close out the pro-mentally segment by advertising the return of Jim Ross to his spot at the commentary table in a couple of weeks. So we get AEW Trio's main event. MJF and FTR versus CM Punk, Darby Allin, and Sting. Okay. Alright. Now we're back down to the ring where we hear the familiar sound of the theme of MJF's theme, followed by FTR's entrance music. This leads to the ring entrance of the three members of the Pinnacle as MJF, Cash Riddle and Dax Harwood head to the ring for our main event of the evening. The trio settles into the ring and their music cuts off. We then hear the iconic sound of Sting theme, and out comes the icon to his usual snowy blue ring walk. He is wearing a CM Punk AEW t-shirt and gets a notably huge pop from the fans inside the iconic Green Coliseum. We hear the commentary team point out that this is where Sting had the match at the first ever Clash of Champions special against Ric Flair that puts him on the map as a main event player way back in 1988. He is eventually joined by Darby Allin. And out he comes and makes his way to the ring along with Sting. From there, we hear a personality hit inside the arena, and then the fans come on glory as the best in the world. CM Punk emerged with his face painted like a young, colorful face, painted Sting from the early days of his career. Sting actually has the CM Punk cross tape wrist logo including his face paint. Darby Allin has special pink and black pants that appears to be a tribute to the icon as well. We hear the bell, and this one is off and running, and it's main event time here on the second annual Dynamite Holiday Bash Special event. We see MJF looking to start things off for his team, with CM Punk doing the same for his. As they go to engage, MJF decided against this tag out, bringing Harwood instead to start things off. Early on, we see the Babyface trio jump in the offensive lead with CM Punk shining in the crowd, chanting along as they dominate things. This doesn't last for long. However, as eventually we see FTR use sneaky tactics to take over. We see to a mid-match commercial break as the action in our headline bout of the evening continues. We settle back in from the break. We see the heel trio from the Pinnacle still controlling the action. Eventually, Sting gets his first time in the ring, and the crowd immediately goes bunker, giving the icon a huge pop. Sting helps his team into the offensive lead as he takes it to all three members of the of the opposition. The icon ends up hitting a big stinger splash on them in the corner, and he goes for the Scorpion Deathlock on Harwood afterwards. We see MJF hit the ring and attack him with a cheap shot to break it up. On that note, Harwood takes back over control of the offense for the Pinnacle Trio. Then they cut to the ring. They cut the ring off and get Sting in their end of the ring. We see MJF gloating after attacking Sting moments ago. Dax Riddler tags in as we head to another mid-match commercial break, with the action still in progress in the ring. We return from the last break and we see that FTR is controlling the match, controlling the action. Eventually, the babyface trio takes over and Punk ends up back inside the ring as legal man. CM Punk is fighting off more than one person, and on many occasions. After entering the ring, as the heel trio and use every advantage they can get. The commentators point out that FTR has instantly been in a handicap match since re-entering the ring, as MJF is nowhere to be found, continuing his trend of avoiding the action all match long. CM Punk ends up in the corner where he duke it out with Harwood. The two exchange punches while on the top rope. CM Punk end up blasting Harwood with a shot that seeing him crashing down on the mat below. He ends up back up. However, after Wheeler hits the ring and attacks Punk on the top rope, Harwood and Wheeler bring CM Punk down hard way and then follow up with a top rope spot. This lead to Harwood and Punk duking it out in the ring again. They both land a shot and they each end up down and out in the middle of the ring. The camera pans over to MJF and Darby Allin still laid out after a table spot early in the match. Back in the ring, we see CM Punk and Harwood duke it out from their knees. MJF returns to the action and hits Sting with a DDT. He turns to celebrate afterwards. However, Sting pops up and no sells it. He pounds his chest, and when MJF turns around, he looks like he's seen a ghost. Sting ends up launching MJF over the top rope into his FTR teammate. However, MJF takes a bad bump and lands directly on top of his head. What was a scary scene. Sting ended up taking things one step further as the icon climbed to the top and he launches himself off the top, splashing onto all three members of the Pinnacle on the floor at ringside. Afterwards, we see a several different camera angle replay of MJF taking the bump over the ropes and landing on the top of his head. Back in the ring, we see CM Punk hit a GTS on Harwood. This leads to Sting hitting the Scorpion Death Drop. After that, Darby hits his top rope, the coffin drop from halfway across the ring. They scored the pinfall victory, and the Babyface trio pulls off the win in our main event. MJF ran away at the end, leaving FTR to figure things out for themselves. We catch up with him as CM Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin are celebrating in the ring, while CM Punk Sting plays as he is shown on camera at the commentary section. He puts a headset on and claims that CM Punk did not want any part of him. He slams the headset down on the commentary's plug some upcoming action on Rampage on Christmas Day as well as the New Year's Smash special. That's how this week's show goes off the air. Thanks for joining us. Happy holidays, everybody. The winners of the match: CM Punk, Darby Allin, and Sting. Anyway, in my own opinion, AEW was a good show. But anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about AEW Dynamite tonight. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. It helps YouTube algorithm. Like, comment, share the video all over. Share the video all over, and make sure you watch this full video before you connect with me the right way. Anyway, if you guys enjoy my AEW Dynamite review on highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what are your thoughts on AEW Dynamite. Make sure you guys follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch, and Discord down below in the description. I got 9 members on Discord. Can we get like 12 members on Discord? If we can, that'd be a huge W. But anyway, I will be streaming Mortal Kombat 11 tomorrow or Thursday. And then, I'll be streaming Mortal Kombat 11 tomorrow. And then Saturday, I will be streaming WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Anyway, that's this Saturday for 2K Battlegrounds, and Mortal Kombat 11 will be tomorrow on Twitch. But anyway, this your boy Bigbiyfactsjonnytv. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. And happy holidays to the YouTube community and friends and family. This your boy Bigbiyfactsjonnytv. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Happy holidays to the YouTube community from yours truly, Bigbiyfactsjonnytv. And now I'm out of here.